Most men hand out compliments like candy. You're pretty. Nice dress. I love your smile. And then they wonder why she forgets them 5 minutes later. But a Stoic man, a man of presence, says very little. Yet when he speaks, her world stops. Because his compliments don't chase her beauty. They pierce her soul. Say these 6 compliments and watch her feel something she hasn't felt in a long time. Respect, depth, desire. Let's begin. 1. You make people around you feel calm. Most men aim to make women laugh. Some try to impress. But the Stoic man does something more rare. He observes what others miss. When you tell a woman, you make people around you feel calm, you are not complimenting her looks, status, or effort. You're recognizing something deeper, her emotional energy. This compliment strikes the feminine core. Women by nature are intuitive and emotionally attuned. Many of them are used to hearing, "You're hot," "You're beautiful," or "You have a great smile." But very few hear compliments that reflect their emotional impact on the world. This particular compliment flips her internal script. It makes her pause. She starts thinking, "He noticed my vibe, not my clothes. He feels something when I'm around. Am I really that calming?" And that's where the connection begins. You've subtly communicated 3 powerful messages. You observe what others don't. You feel what others ignore. You value depth over drama. This type of man, aware, emotionally intelligent, and unfazed, is exactly what women crave, but rarely find. In Stoic philosophy, tranquility is the highest internal reward. When you praise a woman for spreading that energy, you're aligning her with a virtue far deeper than vanity. And unlike physical compliments, which fade with time, this kind of praise sticks in her mind for days, maybe weeks. So next time you're around a woman whose presence feels like peace, say this line, gently, sincerely, without drama. Then observe her reaction. You won't need to say anything else. 2. You think deeply. That's attractive. Beauty is everywhere, but depth is rare. This compliment isn't about flattery. It's about recognition, recognizing her mind instead of her appearance. And for women who think, read, write, or observe more than they talk, this praise hits differently. Telling a woman, "You think deeply," that's attractive, gives her a gift she rarely receives, intellectual respect. Why does this work so powerfully? Because most women aren't seen for their inner world, especially attractive women. People are so blinded by their beauty, they forget there's a brain behind it. This line says, "I see your mind. I value your thoughts. You're not just pretty. You're powerful." It's also a test. If she's shallow, this compliment confuses her. But if she is deep, it draws her in like a magnet. You've entered her mental realm, and you're not competing. You're appreciating. And women don't forget the man who praises their soul instead of their shell. In a world obsessed with noise, be the man who compliments her silence, thought, and self-control. That's Stoicism in action. 3. There's something powerful in your silence. Most men fear silence. Stoic men use it. This compliment touches on a psychological truth. Women who are silent often have the strongest presence. Their calmness isn't weakness, it's command. When you say, "There's something powerful in your silence," you are showing rare awareness. You're telling her, "I see the power behind your restraint." You don't need to speak to be respected. Most people equate silence with awkwardness, but you're assigning it value, making it a mark of strength, not absence. That changes the way she sees herself. Many women are surrounded by people who talk over them, underestimate them, or reduce them to their looks. When you highlight her presence, not her prettiness, you distinguish yourself from 99% of men. And what happens next is crucial. She begins to wonder, how did he notice that about me? What else does he see that others don't? This builds instant depth, mystery, intrigue, and most of all, respect. The Stoics believed that strength often comes without noise. The oak tree doesn't scream during a storm. It stands. That's the kind of energy this compliment captures. And when you give it, you become more than a man. You become a mirror that reflects her higher self. 4. You have discipline. That's extremely rare. Discipline is one of the most underappreciated female qualities. And when a man recognizes it, it lights a fire in her mind. Why? Because women are often complimented for how they look, not for the self-control it takes to maintain excellence. If she works out, studies hard, eats clean, chases goals, you better believe that's intentional effort. So when you tell her, you have discipline, that's extremely rare. You're praising something internal, not external. This compliment does two things. 1. It validates her sacrifices. 2. It shows that you value structure, not chaos. She sees you as someone who's also on the path of mastery, someone who won't distract her, but elevate her. Remember, Stoic men are not easily seduced. They're drawn to values, especially the one Marcus Aurelius emphasized again and again: self-discipline. This isn't just a compliment. It's a signal. I recognize a warrior in you. We speak the same language: focus, clarity, growth. She will remember that, especially in a world where discipline is dying. 5. You're emotionally intelligent. It's refreshing. Here's a secret. Emotional intelligence is the sexiest trait a woman can have, especially for men who've been through toxic relationships. And here's the twist. They crave the same in return. When you say, you're emotionally intelligent, it's refreshing. It instantly separates you from every man who tries to charm without depth. This is a high-level compliment. It tells her, you're not chasing beauty. You're filtering for sanity. You're not impressed by drama. You seek peace. She will instinctively recognize that you're mature. Only someone who values self-awareness could give that compliment. And it builds a rare emotional rapport, one based on recognition, not projection. She doesn't have to impress you. You already saw her core. Stoic men are emotional masters, not emotionless robots. They understand their emotions without being ruled by them. When you praise a woman's emotional regulation, you both rise above the average. This compliment builds mutual admiration, not manipulation. 6. You don't try to be noticed, and yet, I noticed you. This is the final blow, the kind that lingers. You don't try to be noticed, and yet, I noticed you. What makes this so powerful? It flips the reward. Most women are used to being rewarded for trying, dressing up, posting, performing. You're saying, I saw the part of you that wasn't trying. I noticed your essence, not your effort. It speaks directly to her subconscious desire for authenticity. Now, she feels two things. 1. Safe, because she doesn't have to perform for your attention. 2. Valued, because her natural self is seen as attractive. This creates an unspoken bond. You didn't fall for her makeup, her laugh, her pose. You saw something real, and that means you must be real too. A Stoic man values the unseen. He speaks to what the world ignores, and when you drop this compliment, she'll never forget you. Subscribe for more powerful Stoicism and psychology. Comment Stoic if you agree.